Greetings, citizens of the world. So we've gone over this personal benefits. It's just a small slice of what could be said of personal benefits. What are the benefits of nationally being environmentally conscientious, or statewide, or just, your local city? Well, one of the things that we remember the most is about Kendra. And Kendra knocked out a lot of our oil refineries and also screwed up a lot of lives. But the nation felt it through the oil prices. We really felt the pain of that incident of having high gas prices. It ruined our economy. We never seen gas go below $2 a gallon ever again. And as a result, it stunted our economy. So anybody who says, oh, environmentalism, it's going to destroy our economy, it's going to destroy our budgets and wreak havoc and rape our children, and no, that's simply absurd. As we can see, the evidence is our economy is based on oil, and every time we have an issue with oil, our economy gets sluggish. So you're telling me that it's better for our economy to be this way? But the only direction it can go is to cleaner sources. That's the only way we can make our power, and that's to make it cleaner. So if we look at the Middle East and OPEC and our sources, well, our sources actually tend to be most Americans don't know that we get most of our oil from Canada and Mexico. And then it's the Middle East and OPEC and all that finally factor into why does it cost so effing much for our barrels of oil. But every time there is even a hint of some sort of conflict in the Middle East, our oil prices spike. So this is not a stable financial system. We need energy independence. That was the one thing Bush was ever right, is that we need energy independence to achieve true freedom and sovereignty of our nation, and to achieve basically the stability of the world, so we're not fighting over damn resources that are so finite and stupid to have anyways. What we need to do is an energy system that uses all the available resources that we have. We can use wind, which according to a survey, we can nearly power the America twice over. Of course, that's at full utilization, and that's too many damn windmills. But we can use solar, we can use nuclear, we can use tidal, we can use geothermal. There are different ways we can harvest power and make it balanced that are going to liberate us from an economy that doesn't depend on peace in the Middle East. They can do their business and our economy will just be fine. As we all know that our power system is aging and it needs to be updated. Now, one of the problems that we have in America is nearly a third of all power is actually lost in just transmitting that power through the power line. As with coal-fired plants and most plants that actually burn and do pollution, most people don't want that in their backyard. And that also causes a whole host of health issues. But besides that, there is not an associated, not in my backyard as much as with windmills or with solar power plants. Now, they don't have to be photovoltaic. I know there was a plant that's due to be made in France. That this is just a normal thermal system that actually heats up sodium, and that's something that can actually provide power even though there have been 2 days without light. So there are all sorts of different ways. All we have to do is build the infrastructure for these green energy resources and simply let them do their thing. It is free energy. The wind blows, you get energy. You know, the sun shines, you get energy. The tides flow, you get energy. The heat from the crust rises, you get energy. So it doesn't make no sense to say, oh, we're in energy crisis. We're up to our brim and all the necessary power that we need for this nation. So it doesn't make sense to say that we have an energy crisis. We just don't want to go to that because we don't understand. We don't have a proper concept of what it will provide. I'll take a big windmill in my backyard any day over a coal burning plant. Trust me, the air is going to be a lot more cleaner that way. So to think that somehow it is more expensive if you only ignore the fact that you can have these things closer to the sources that they provide, so lower transmission costs, which means the power plants don't have to be so big. They can actually be so large. Ignoring that, yeah, it makes a lot of sense of just ignoring environmentalism. I don't think so. So there's a lot of benefits to our power systems, to our energy independence that we can achieve through just having greener sources. In Virginia, I know, is that we actually were going to have a windmill farm off the coast, and that was going to nearly supply about 90% of all our needs. But what happened? Well, Dominion Power, well, they had a lobbyist, and now we don't have that means of power. So, again, you telling me this makes sense? We could have had all our power solved by just investing in some capital and we didn't have to burn anything, and that would have actually supplied the majority of our energy needs? That doesn't make sense. There is another benefit that affects many cities, is that we're incurring water shortages and having worse issues of handling sewage because of the increased infrastructure demand. Well, there's a solution for that. There is something called a gray water system. It takes the water that you use for washing your hands or taking a shower, and it cleans it up a little bit and it repurposes it to flush the toilet. Overall, this actually can save a lot of water. That means you're reducing your demand for water and also reducing what you output as needed treatable sewage, because you're using water twice in many cases. And so if to think about that, if it reduced your water bill up to 30% and everybody did this, this would be a significant reduction in the demand of needing water and the treatment of it. And so there's a lot of benefits that can go all the way for that. It affects us on personally and affects us as a country and a nation. And it's just something that I think we should pay close attention to, because I see a lot of issues of needing water, particularly in California, in the future because of the changing climate. So we need to think about this, and we need to think about how we use something and how we can make it better. So stay tuned for more.